Oh, my homosexuals, sit down and enjoy this day with me. Honestly, this has been one of the best days I've had in a while. And no, I'm not just talking about the gym. What a day for some good friendships. Just some all-around good energy. I got the great opportunity to meet a really fucking strong high schooler. And he was like, oh, I'd be interested in looking into, some Olympic lift, maybe some power cleans. And I'm like, if you want pointers, let me know. Because I love that. I love it. Nothing makes me happier than either when I get to make my own progress or when I see other people growing because of that effort that I got to put in along the way. It's so amazing to see how your triumphs and going through just getting dragged through the mud, finally getting good at what you really are passionate in. And then in one session, in an hour and a half, he went from some of the most awful power clean form you can imagine to doing it with absolute fluidity, just super clean. Of course it's not perfect. It's never going to be. That's just how it is. He's new. It's tough to get your core used to that and the technique alone. But I was telling him, well, I know, because that's all you can do. You just got to give people your own perspective and hope that they can latch onto that and grow themselves. And he was just picking that shit up every 30 seconds, just like, oh, like this. And I'm like, oh my God. It brings me back to when the first 2 to 2.5 years of my training and Olympic lifting were self-taught completely. I did not get coached, but I had more Olympic friends later on that taught me a lot of perspective that I didn't know myself, like I just did today. And it makes it a whole new world of experience. Like the fact that he picked it up so quickly. I'm sitting here and I'm like, this is how much my efforts truly shine. It really just goes to show how far people can grow when you express the knowledge and the experience and the perspectives without putting some sort of social standard or money gate blocker on it. I've said this in the past, but I'm not a big fan of people blowing up online for being strong and then selling their program for profit. That's and I'm not saying that I'm not talking about individualized programming. That's the job. That's coaching. You can charge people for individualized programming all you want because that's to the person. But people will do a program, or it's a program they did 15 fucking years ago when they were at their peak, and they'll sell it just because they got popular. And people don't realize those programs were built for them specifically at that very exact point in time in life, combined with all the experiences and things happening to them uniquely. It's not something that's generally learned. It's something that they went through, that they're just throwing out there. And when you put money on it, people don't learn how to properly do this shit because it's just, it's the harsh truth, in my opinion, whatever that means, that no one's going to grow from someone else's program the way that it was intended to. That's just how it is. We are all different. We are all built in a different way. We got different schedules. We got different lives, different experiences, different mindsets. Everything about humanity it's the difference between us all, and blocking off the education and the experience and perspective that you may have gone through for the sake of making a bag is what draws the passion away from these sports that just came from some fucking guy a couple hundred years ago saying, you know what, I want to ooga booga throw this weight over my fucking head. And he was just passionate enough to where people did it. And that was it. Because that's where you make the most growth. Just focusing on that raw passion about it without putting some sort of block on it to where you feel like you shouldn't have access or that you can't do it because you don't want to commit to something that requires you to put in that money. It's tough to commit to something when there's a blocker on it. And then people don't do it. And it gets less and less popular over time until nobody's doing it anymore. And then it just fades away. And I hate the idea of that. Because this sport and anything in the gym or anything hobby-wise that you've picked up that has been a passion that you've grown through is what makes everybody love life. It's what gives you your own sort of purpose. without worrying about every other little fucking thing. It's just enjoying the shit you've got while you've got it and saying, damn, that was fun. How can I do that better next time and enjoy it even more? Not, ooh, how can I make money off of this? Just like it takes away from it. I was talking to the guy I was training today because he was doing so well and I was really proud of him for it. And he was like, dude, like seriously, like if you wanted to, I'd be so down. Like you're already recording your videos, just record our conversations and we can get like mics on and you could post that shit online and like people would love it and you could maybe make money off it. And I'm like, I get it, you know? And that isn't a bad thing whatsoever, you know? Being able to coach people and make money off it's a great thing, you know? That's, I want to really emphasize, because people have misconstrued what I said before. Paying for coaching is completely different. That's the job, you know? That's getting a professional help. But when it comes to just somebody's individual experience, why not just throw it out there? You know, it's why I do these videos. I let you guys know exactly how I'm feeling every day in the moment with exactly everything that's going on, so that you don't just see me do, you know, 230 for 3 triples on pause, clean, and jerk, and then 3x6 bench press at 275, and then think, oh, he was just built that way that day. No. This is just, it is the accumulation of my whole program. It's what I've gone through today. It's the experiences and the positivity that I've led through today, you know? And don't get me wrong, the power cleans, the pause, clean, and jerks didn't feel super on top of this world, you know, because I was very heavily focused on helping the guy train, because I just love it so much that I can't stop fucking talking about it. So it could have been better, but it was still pretty fucking decent. I'm very happy with the effort. It felt really good for the most part. I just was taking more rest than I needed. So especially on the last one, you'll see the very last rep, my core tried to break on me, but brought it back as always. You know, that's what we're here for. But no, man, he was like, record it, dude. Let's you can make a video about it. And like, I don't need any compensation or anything. I think it would be cool for you. And I'm like, it is a really cool idea. You know, not that it is a bad thing at all. If it's what makes you more passionate and it's something that gives you purpose, that's great. But for me, I got to think about and remind myself of what makes this sport the best that it can be. And when I put the camera in front of me and the guy that I want to train, the attention steps away from the guy I'm training and gets put onto the camera and how good the video is going to be. And I hate that personally, because I'm not doing this sport so I can blow up online, you know? It's simply to love my life even more, give this perspective and experience to other people, and explain to you guys how I'm doing, just for the sake of my own mental health and spreading positivity among a community, you know? And I told him, I'm like, the training is not going to be the same, because the reason he wants me to record it and why he thinks it would be a good idea is because in the moment today, he was getting the most raw, uncensored form of me that he could get, you know, the best version of me. Because it was me and him one-on-one, loving life, doing the lifts, not thinking about anything else. Because that's how it should be. You go in the gym and you're there to think about how to better yourself. There doesn't need to be any other thought. You know, the main reason I've always recorded my lifts, I've been recording them for a long time, was so I could look at my form and say, what did I need to do better? Or how proud should I be of this lift? Because that's what kept me going. You know, that's why I do the little shorts where I put the music behind it. It makes me feel special, man. It gives that main character kind of energy to me. It's that good serotonin every day, because I love being able to go back and look at it and be like, God damn, I fucking did that shit. You know? Especially if you do Olympic lifting, you know, one of the comments the guy made today that is so true, is you do not feel like, you can't really feel the lift while you're doing it. You can't have a visual. You got the mind-muscle connection and you just do it. But when you look at that video, you're like, oh my God, that was me? That was me doing that shit? Okay. You know, I always look back at it and I'm like, oh my God, I did way better than I thought. It looked way cooler, especially when I power clean and jerked 315 a couple months ago. When I watched that video back, oh, how clean it was. You know, the feeling of doing it is unmatched, of course. you know, because you can finally sit there and be like, I did it. The accumulation of my efforts meant something to my growth. But when you watch that video back and really get to see it from the POV of the audience, you're like, oh my God, that's me. I did that shit. So I love doing it just for the sake of it increasing my own love for the sport and being able to analyze what I could do better on a more personal and direct level. And so I don't want to put up a camera and take away from that experience, not only from myself, but from the other person. Because if I'm going to train somebody, they deserve my 100% attention so that they can be better. I don't want to look at them and be like, oh, hold on, I got to hit record. You know? Here, stand this way so the camera can get you. Oh, make sure your mic's turned up. Like, no, and I get it. It's not a bad thing at all. Don't think I'm saying it's a bad thing if you do this and you enjoy it. If you enjoy it, lovely. That's how life is. Everybody's going to find happiness different ways. And if that's what your cup of tea is, then run with it. I got no reason to say it's right or wrong. But that's exactly my point. There's never a right or wrong with any of this shit. It's just, how can you be the happiest and best version of yourself? You know, what's going to get you to that point where you look back and you truly say, motherfucker, I did it. I love it more than anything else. I will die on that horse. It's a wonderful feeling. And if somebody stops growing because of my lack of attention, like I'm always saying, I got to give my body, my mental health, and my physical health, along with the lifts, the personal, attentive care that it needs to grow. I can't just put it on the back burner and say, well, I got to record a video, so I guess I'll worry about it later. That's exactly why I stopped doing the homosexual moment shorts. They were fun for a while, but I realized I liked them so much because when I was in Orlando, I knew so many people that we just ended up talking in front of the camera without even realizing it was there. You know, I'd look back and I'd be like, oh yeah, we did say that. So it was the most fun and passionate and didn't take as much attention because it was natural. Now that I'm in Alabama, I don't know as many people. I'm having a bad day or I'm walking the lift, it's not worth it to me if it's going to take away from the reason why I love this so much. The lift itself, after I put it by itself, you know? But anyway, seriously, do it. Bare bones. You love it. Don't stop. That's it. You don't got to think about it. Your body will tell you if you're happy. You'll know it. If you're sitting there sweating, need to work up some areas or try something new. You know, just see what might make you a little bit happier with what you're doing. But I love the interactions I have with these people too much to put a number on it. Like I say all the time, it is not about the weight. It is about the effort and the personalization that it brings to my life. So just as with training other people, I want it to be something more personal and direct without any social cue or outside influence other than me and that person interacting with our own individual passions that are unlimited by what a camera might make you say. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't mean to get too personal, but this topic goes back and forth a lot, and it's not a bad thing to record, I don't think. You know, I like recording my lifts. I know people can get mad about a tripod or whatever, but I genuinely love seeing it happen and know that, like, I put in that effort and being able to rewatch it back and make a cool little music compilation video with it so I can feel a little bit more special and passionate about it. And especially doing these videos with you guys, being able to express myself, see what you have to say, and just spread overall positivity about this subject. You know, it's a wonderful thing. So I don't care about the recording. I just care about the mindset and the purpose you have behind it. You know, is it bringing passion and love into your life and to those that you are interacting with? That's what I think is important. But anyway, the lifts went great. I know I ended up doing the more personal talk first, but fuck it, whatever. I had shit to say. But no, the pause clean and jerks, they were really good. I put in the effort. I brought it back. It could have been a little shaky on a couple of them. I was training with the other guy a lot, so I was just taking way longer breaks than I needed for my core. but they still did very well regardless, especially with how much squatting I've been doing this week. My knee's getting back into it. It's not near 100%, I'll tell you that. I'm not going to try the grass yet, but it's getting to the point where I can move on it pretty comfortably every day, even if it's a little bit sore. And the bench, I didn't even get to tell you guys about the bench, because I know I said the numbers, but god damn, dude. If you've been here, 3 months ago, I pulled my chest for the first time in 7 years of benching on a warm-up weight at 275. I was like, okay, we'll come back a month later, try it out. So I, again, mistakenly to me, almost immediately got back on the program when my chest felt a little bit better. I started running it, and the moment I got back to 275, what do you fucking know? The same exact muscle pulled again. But I say it all the time, that's a golden experience. It's going to make me better. So I took that experience, I ran with it. I did dumbbell accessories to get better mind-muscle connection, get my left chest a little bit stronger. Ended up widening my grip just slightly because I have a wider build for bench, and I've been doing half the length of thumb's length, if you know what that is. Just however you're putting your thumb against the bar, wherever the line is. If you know, you know. But I was doing half that length, so it was almost a close grip bench, using way more chest, which is okay, but because of my bigger build, my elbows would flare out, and all the pressure would go on my chest, which is why I kept pulling. So I've been doing thumb's length, going a little bit wider, and my chest feels magical. I feel wonderful. So, gonna keep running it. This was the last day of this month's heavy week, so we made it. 3.5 months later, guys, you never know what's going to happen, but we made it. We're here. It might not make it next week, but right now, we're living large. I'm here. I'm doing my best, and I'm happy, So we'll keep up on the weight, see what happens. I know you guys see it. That bench was fucking fast. It was really quick for 275. So I can only imagine what kind of weight I'm going to put up in a couple months. When I get to PR, 365 might be happening sooner than we thought. So put that in your heads. But either way, rest day tomorrow. I'm going to do my due diligence to do absolutely fucking nothing other than maybe a 5-minute walk, because that's just what I like my rest days being. I'm going to carb up, have fun, not worry for a while, play video games all day, that kind of thing. I don't have work either. I'm doing nothing tomorrow. But, I'll be back the day after. I'll start with, we got the volume week starting back up for block 2. So we'll be doing all sets of doubles. It'll be 5 sets of doubles on Olympic lifts, and then 5 sets of 4 on all power lifts, which is just my squats and my benches. So we're going to get there. We're going to do great. Just see how it goes, I'm loving the ride, and I've never been better. So that's what matters. Let me know how your lifts and lives have been going. I love hearing about it. And I truly love you guys for sticking around and hearing me yap about this shit, because I genuinely fucking love it. It's so fun. So I'll be back day after tomorrow. I love you, and I appreciate you. Goodbye.